Scientists did this very long 17-year study on 26,600 men. And they tried to find out whether or not their sperm count decreased significantly. And what they found was that sperm count in French men dropped by nearly 1/3 between 1989 and 2005, and the quality of that sperm also declined. Okay, so to give you the exact number, it was 33.4%, and it's also described as the most important study carried out by the French and probably in the world, considering that you have a sample that's close to the general population. So this is something that scientists have been studying for a few decades now, actually. And it's not just this one study. There have been multiple studies done. And the one thing that I want to make sure I emphasize is there are a lot of hypotheses into what is the cause of this, but it's important to remember that there hasn't been any strong scientific backing for one thing or the other. However, I think that there has been some evidence indicating that the use of plastics and environmental changes have contributed to this problem.
And of course, one of the leading theories is that they're French. Am I allowed to say that? Or did I go too far? Too soon?
I don't know. Let's ask Jimmy Dore since he's in France right now.
What's the problem?
They run out of semen.
They're shooting blancs.
Now, is this just a French thing, or they just happen to do the study in France?
They focused on Frenchmen. Yes.
Okay, so I don't know. It probably afflicts everybody, you know.
It does. In most industrialized countries, which is why I brought up the issue of the environment, because there's more pollution in industrialized countries. They have noticed that there has been a decrease in sperm count.
More nuclear power in France. Think maybe that is something.
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's one of the theories that another lib was throwing around earlier in the day. I think it was Lorax.
Yes.
You know, and so maybe the nuclear. So they'd have to do, of course, do an exhaustive study. Look at Japan, for example, which also has a lot of nuclear energy. Then compare it to another Asian country that does not have a lot of nuclear energy, et cetera, to see if that's the case. They'd have to eliminate a lot of factors, and we kid around. And in America, of course, like, oh, French, yeah, the French, they got no semen, right?
It's probably even worse
here,
for us.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, yeah, whatever. But you know the American answer to everything. We're number one! Okay, like, no, you're semen ranked number 37 in the world. We're number one! Okay.
You know, and just to give you guys exact numbers, which I found mind-blowing, was for the average man of 35, the number of spermatozoa dropped from 73.6 million to 49.9 million per milliliter, and that's huge.
Well,
or small.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot, but losing millions of sperm, not a good thing, man. They don't have a lot left then in the left bank.
Ugh.
That joke was so bad, no one even understood it. They don't have a lot left then in the left bank. And the funny thing is, I kind of tried something similar earlier today in the production meeting, and it was met with the same stone-cold silence. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going in again. You know why? Because I got a lot of sperm. So I think, you know what? I don't give a shit. Okay, I'll do it again. Let it fly.